So I figured I'd take the time on this cold and snowy January day to do a video on the Fox Body project that never came to fruition. All the stuff that I planned on doing to it that I never disclosed earlier. And at the end of the video, I do have a little bit of a teaser of something for the channel. Not very much, but something that a lot of you may want to know about. So I'll put that at the end of the video for those of you that are interested. For those of you that aren't familiar with this Fox Body project that I had, the reason why it never got finished, long story short, I got a pretty bad back injury over this past summer. It led to selling the Fox, and that's kind of where things are right now. I have a whole big explanation in the previous video. I'll tag it in the video up top if you want to go back and see the longer explanation on what happened. But one of the big things that I never really talked about was the actual engine specs for the build that was getting done for it. And one thing that I never disclosed either was a color that I wanted to paint it. Those are two things that I kind of, sat on for a little while. But for this video, I'm going to go through all that and, show everyone what the car would have been if I decided to go through with the entire project. I'm not going to go over every single spec on all these build sheets, but I'm going to hit the main points on it. It was going to be a 363 Liberator dart block with a RPM 4340 forged steel crankshaft, SCAT 4340 forged steel H-beam rods, ARP 2000 bolts, Wesco pistons, their ring package, Clevite main bearings and rod bearings, ARP main studs, Melling oil pump, Moroso oil pan pickup, Felpro one-piece gasket. I'll leave this up, if you guys want to pause the video and read all the little things on it, you can. The next part of the build sheet focused mainly around the cylinder heads. They were going to be AFR 205s. Originally, we thought about 185s, but decided to go with the 205s instead. And they were going to have 58cc combustion chambers, trick flow roller rockers, 1.6s, ARP balancer, ATI billet adjustable timing pointer. That was pretty much it for this part of the sheet. This last part of the build sheet is mostly just the finishing touches on the block. I'll just leave this up where you guys can pause it if you want to go through and look at more of the finer details on it. At the very end of it, you notice that it says the block can be painted the color of your choice. I'm pretty sure I was going to go with a red block. It would have looked, pretty good with the rest of the color scheme that the engine was going to be. I never really decided on the upper intake. I believe that I was going to go with probably like a Holley System X or something like that. It did have the GT40 upper, the actual GT40 intake, but that was not going to cut it as far as this build went, so I was definitely going to go with a different upper intake with this engine combo. In the original video, when I talked about all the plans with the Fox body, I left out the part about what color I was going to paint it. I made it very clear that it was not a Ford color, and as you can see, this is definitely not a Ford. This actual color is called Sapphire Blue Metallic. It's a Porsche GT3 color. I came across this color just, basically looking at Porsches because one of those dream cars I've always wanted, which I'll never have. And that color just popped so much. I absolutely loved it. And I tinkered with the idea of maybe trying to paint this car myself, but after the back injury, I realized how much of a daunting task this entire project was going to be, especially if I wanted to paint it myself. It was just snowballing way out of control, and it's what pretty much led to me selling the Fox body. But as you can see, if you could picture the Fox body painted in this color with that engine thrown in there with an On3 turbo kit, it would have been a pretty nasty Fox body build, and it would have been cool to finish it, but there's bigger and better things to move on to. So for those of you that stuck around for the end of this video, I said that I had a little bit of something special to share with all of you. When I uploaded my last video, those of you that follow the channel a lot, I said that I was unsure if another car was going to make it to the channel or not, or what it was going to be. I just needed a lot of time to sit down and reflect on a lot of things and really determine where I wanted to go with another car if I was going to get one. what it was going to be, and when I wanted to get one. So at this point, I can tell you that there will be another car coming to the channel. What that is, I'm not going to say quite yet. That will be saved for another day. As far as when you guys will see the car, I'm trying really, really hard to get it delivered to me before I go on my trip in February. I'm leaving very early February for a big trip out of the country, and we're just running into things are just taking longer than what I originally expected, but they are moving along, and I'm hoping this coming week, after posting this video, that the ball gets rolling a little bit more, and there'll be something for me to show you in late January before I leave for the trip. If the car is not delivered before I leave in February, then I won't be able to reveal it until I come back in mid-February. So that's kind of where things stand right now. As far as what it is, you guys are free to completely guess what it is. There are a very, 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 very small amount of people that know what the car is, what color it is, and all that stuff. But throw down in the comments if you made it to the end what you think it is or what you hope that it is. And in a few weeks, I'll be able to share all of those details with you. But until then, thanks for watching.